Okay guys, so today I have another gameplay review for you. This is going to be White Forest Pure versus Live Twin Fiendsmith. A deck that's gaining in popularity because of the recent support. It's a pretty good deck. The deck I'm playing is a pure version that is basically the version I've always been playing, except I've made some changes based on Rehan's first place Toronto regional list. So basically I'm playing the 2 Estelar of the White Forest, and I think I was only maining 1 Thrust, and I'm choosing to main the 3 now. Everything else is kind of standard, so there's the Dragon's Mind, which is pretty popular when you're playing Foolish Burial Goods, because post side is an excellent target to dump. Also, the Deck Devastation Virus and the Subversion are in the side, along with my in-archetype ceiling card, Woes of the White Forest, which will always come out for a Fua, or come in for a Fua. So, that's basically so you know what I'm playing, and now let's get straight into the gameplay. By the way, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Omega, how this works is ranked ladder. I play until Master ranking, which is the top 2% of the player base. So currently, I think there are 10,000 people ranked, and Master is the top 2%. So I'm not saying that I'm playing against YCS champions. People do make mistakes, but generally, people at least know what their cards do when you get to Master level, and so that's why I'm showing you this gameplay. Okay, so I have lost game 1, and now this is post side where I am going first, and the opponent makes a pretty massive mistake. So in the draw phase, they double Fua here. And he knows what deck I'm on, so it's not really like there's a huge value to get from going double Fua. You would much rather wait until I start with like a Hallowed or maybe an Estelar to something else out, or I put my 2 bodies on field and I'm about to go into another monster, and then you can Fua there. Sometimes maybe you could understand dropping the first Fua and waiting for the second. And of course, if I ash one of them, the other one will still resolve. So right now he has so far Moulin Glaciered himself. And there's no way I'm playing into double Fua, right? Like maybe I'll play into 1 Fua, maybe a little bit, but not into double Fua. So he's done me a huge favor here. And instead of me just saying like, oh, my opponent is so bad, this is garbage, I want to show you this is how real people play. This is how real people play Yu-Gi-Oh, okay? It's not always a YCS finals, and you have to know how you should adapt your strategy to people who are not playing optimally. Okay, so here I Witch of the White Forest, and actually, I don't remember why I searched for LZ Azamina here. So let's see what I do, because I also make mistakes in a lot of the games that I show off. So I'm going to go for LZ of the White Forest, and I'm going to send the Witch of the White Forest and search for a Sylvie. Now I will summon Sylvie and search for a Woes off the Sylvie, and the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to give him a single draw. And so once I realize that I can make a field here, with Woes, and I have the Foolish Burial Goods, for example, to get Dump the Curse, to get Philia, to go into Diabels and into Vengeance, I'm going to feel pretty safe with a fully set up Vengeance and also a live Woes on field. And also, now that I think of it, I think the reason that I went for LZ Azamina is that I was being very greedy, and I thought, if I'm not playing into Fua, why don't I just summon the LZ Azamina, and then when I Woes out of turn, I will use the LZ Azamina as material so that I can also get the Search for the Sinful Spoils card out of turn. But the problem with that is I would also be playing into Nib at this point, because if I go LZ is summon 1, Sylvie is summon 2, Diabels is 3, Vengeance is 4, then obviously this would be 5. And so I'm like, actually, I wasn't thinking at all. There's no reason I should have done this. That was super greedy and plays into Nib. Let me just allow this guy to hand loop himself, and I'm going to keep this in my hand now. Okay, so I'm going to Burial Goods. I'm going to dump the Curse. Curse will give me the Philia. Philia can give me the Diabels. Diabels can pitch the Woes because this is free. And now I can Diabels Chainlink 1, Woes Chainlink 2, dump the Vengeance, bring the Vengeance out. But he's actually going to Ghost Bell me on the Vengeance. And Ghost Bell really is a card that, you know, because it hasn't been played in so long, people really undervalue it. And even though people now know that it is good this meta, sometimes it just hits you in places you never really expect. So he hits the Vengeance. And now I'm looking kind of stupid because I wanted Vengeance on field for, like, at least in part for the Deck Devastation Virus. So I choose to summon the LZ Azamina after all, because I am in fact on summon 4 because my Vengeance was fizzled by the Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, and I'm thinking, well, I can be a little bit greedy here. So I pass turn without playing into Nib. I have a Woes where I'll get a search off of the Azamina LZ, and I don't really have, I guess, the Deck Devastation Virus live, so this actually doesn't really do anything. So the opponent will now search for Engraver. I have Ash in hand. There's no reason for me to Ash this because he still could go into the Fiendsmith stuff later on, so he will search for a Tract. Now he activates Tract, and I decide to go Chainlink 2 Ash here because I don't want him to get Lurie and then go into Requiem. And then, he can bring the Engraver out by shuffling back the Luri. He can equip the Requiem to the Engraver. He can Engraver try to send one of my monsters. Like, why give him resources when I don't have to? So I'm going to Ash that on the assumption that because he's playing Live Twin, my single woes should be enough to stop him from being able to play properly. So I Ash the Tract, and I never find out what he has left in his hand because he doesn't have a way to play through the woes, and so he scoops. So, okay, that's all for now. I'll give you one last look at the deck profile before I close out. If you have any suggestions, then please let me know. If you want to join the Discord, I'm quite active there. You can @ me if you want. And please subscribe if you want, or I guess don't if you don't want to. Okay, guys, thanks for watching.